Welcome back, everyone. We will now be beginning with the block and tackle session. For everyone's benefit, I will be repeating the rules for block and tackle once again. So once I'll be calling out the name of your school, your participants or the speaker lineup will be spotlighted. Whatever you have written in the document that was given to you, that will be the order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as you have filled in. After we call out your name and after spotlighting is done, we will play the video that was allotted to you. Then we will start the timer for 90 seconds. The first speaker will take the stance that you have decided upon after seeing the video. When I say block, the next speaker will have to go against the stance made by the previous speaker. When the moderator says tackle, the speaker after that will have to go against the stance the speaker who was speaking about block. Please do not worry. Block and tackle will be said alternatively so that you do not get confused. I hope the rules are clear with everyone and you have strategized accordingly. So, as and when I call out the names of the school, please switch on your videos. The first school that we have is Army Public School from Shankar Vihar, New Delhi. The video that was assigned to them was made by Vasant Valley School.
Meet Namish. He woke up early today to read his horoscope. Let's see what's in store for him.
Math wasn't his favorite subject, but the horoscope said that whichever exam he'd take that month would go really well. That's why he was really excited to take the exam today.
Amish thought that his math exam was going really well, but it actually turned out to be disastrous.
In the end, we realize astrology is nothing but a pseudo-scientific farce with no real abilities of predicting the future. The real scientific field, on the other hand, is astronomy, which deals with the knowledge of celestial bodies in space.
Participants from Army Public School, please switch on your videos so that you can be spotlighted. Okay. I hope you are ready. 3,
Yes.
2, 1. Your time starts now.
Astrology may seem scientific. It uses scientific knowledge about heavenly bodies as well as scientific sounding tools like
Block.
star charts.
Astrology has not demonstrated its effectiveness in control studies and has no scientific validity and is regarded as pseudoscience.
Astrology is found on understanding the position of the stars, which may seem like a scientific enough pursuit in itself. Astrologer and psychologist myself.
Astrology is founded on understanding the position of the stars, which seems like scientific enough pursuit in itself.
Tackle.
Astrology is a pseudoscience because it claims to be using facts such as the movement of the planets
Block.
to predict movement.
Astrology uses mathematics, physics, and chemistry in order to explain the origin and evolution of objects in the universe.
Tackle.
Astrology has been rejected by the scientific community as having no explanatory power for describing the universe.
Block.
Some people claim that astrology have supported them in their day-to-day life, and at last, in spite of the facts, there is no verified scientific basis.
At last, we would like to conclude that there is no factual evidence that supports the idea that the position of the stars and planet affect or predict how humans behave or their personality
Thank
traits.
you. Concluding statement. Concluding statement.
Yes, ma'am, I have given concluding
Okay.
statement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, participants from Army Public School. We will now have the participants from DPS Gurgaon. They were assigned the video made by the Doon School.
Years, the disappearance of many ships and planes over the Bermuda Triangle has caught the attention of many scientists. The scientists explain this while collaborating with the fact that the Bermuda is a heavy traffic zone surrounded by dangerous waters and is prone to hurricanes. Therefore, planes flying at low altitudes, ships passing nearby are bound to be affected by the natural attributes of this area. Although there is reliable statistical data supporting the disappearances, there seems to be scope for falsibility, which does not completely authenticate the claims made about the mystery pertinent with the place. However, pseudoscientists attribute these disappearances to paranormal or alien activity. The problem is there is no evidence to support these claims. Subsequently, there is no scope for falsibility as these claims cannot be proven wrong. Still, these theories gain a lot of prominence. I think the central reason is that these instances of paranormal activity are exciting. Thus, people want to believe that the world cannot be defined by a set of physical laws. Furthermore, rigorous scientific explanations are only accessible to a narrow pool of intellectuals. Thank you.
I would now like to invite the participants from DPS Gurgaon. Please switch on your videos. Only two participants? Okay, three. Three, right? Okay. DPS Gurgaon, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Your time starts now.
Of the Bermuda Triangle is maybe because of the magnetic activity. In this area, the magnetic fields are wrapped up and twisted. Therefore, due to the magnetic disturbances in the area,
any claims made about the differences in the magnetic field in the geology of the Earth can be easily verified with the current technology, and scientists have found that although magnetic fields varies in different regions, but they have not found any prominent difference.
A very recent and plausible explanation is that methane gas is spewing up from the ocean floor, and these huge methane eruptions cause the ship to sink. If the highly flammable methane gas rises into the air,
this phenomena could be because of the high-speed winds which blow in the area, and also because of the water waves which have a very high speed, which is 1,000,000 miles per hour. Because of this, the airplanes.
Well, there may be any effect of the cyclones or the hurricanes happening in the region, but there have been discovered various sensitive regions across the world. But all the rescue operations, we must notice that all the rescue operations, most of them have also failed after an airplane or a shipwreck has been discovered. So that
the true explanation might lie in the minds of the people. We often tend to see the things that once comes to our notice more. If there is a mysterious disappearance of a ship that comes more to our notice than the ships that sink regularly.
Thank you so much, the participants from DPS Gurgaon. Next up, we have the participants from Don Bosco Park Circus. They were assigned the video made by the Cathedral and John Connon School.
In fact, there's no evidence to support that.
But I have a hypothesis. If you just change the frequency of vibration of the body itself, it changes the way the cells regrow.
How energy moves through the body by manipulating a person's field of energy.
No evidence to support it.
Medicines are medical treatments that are used instead of traditional or conventional therapies. These include energy healing, crystal therapy, therapeutic healing touch, and much more. In this video, we will look into the usage of alternative medicine from companies like Goop.
These practices are prevalent because they give people a sense that they are in control of their own treatment. But it can be really dangerous because it makes people feel temporarily better due to the placebo effect, making the person less likely to consult a real doctor.
Finally proving the dichotomy between science, which is mainstream theory, and pseudoscience, which is alternate theory. So the dichotomy lies in that mainstream theory is scientifically proven while alternate theories are not. So we could say that alternate theories are just a product of speculation, belief, advertisements, and propaganda.
I would request the participants from DBPC to switch on their videos. Participants, please note that once I say either block or tackle, you have to refute the last sentence. Otherwise, it just becomes like a turncoat debate. This is block and tackle. So, essence of the last sentence is what you have to refute, according to the previous rules, which I've already explained to you. Right? DBPC, you ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Start the timer.
I'm Harshvardhan Bhatta from Don Bosco Park Circus, and I would like to state the advantages of crystal healing, energy healing, and other types of alternative methods of medicine. Crystal healing has been used for centuries to help treat the body holistically.
Block.
Although crystal healing and other alternative methods of healing have been used for centuries to treat patients, there is no scientific proof or scientific evidence of them actually working in the treatment. These therapies only seem to have a better mental effect on the patient and have
These therapies like crystal healing have proven to give at least mental peace or mental calmness to the patient who is having this. And as we know, the first thing a person who is sick needs is mental calmness, and later on this
Even though crystal healing provides mental calmness and other types of healing, yet it has side effects as it can make us create like a fake perception of the patient receiving the treatment, while the opposite is actually true. Often patients tend to not actually get proper.
Crystal healing and other therapies like energy healing or Reiki are completely natural methods of treatment.
Thank you, participants from DBPC. We will now be moving on to the next school, Garden High International School. They were assigned the video made by Sushila Birla Girls School.
The geocentric model proposed that the Earth was in the center and other celestial bodies revolved around it. In the heliocentric model, the Sun is in the center and other celestial bodies orbit it.
Participants from Garden High International to switch on our videos. Participants, I hope you remember the rule which I reiterated. Refute the last sentence when I see the block or tackle. Right? I hope you're ready. 3, 2, 1, start the timer.
The Big Bang Theory has two evidences, which are the biggest evidences that we can show that the Big Bang was true. It is the CMBR and the redshift of the universe.
Block.
Big Bang Theory, although has given us theories and everything, but it still could not prove any existence of what happened before.
जिनका मैं उसमें बच्चों को लेके आज मैंने रील इंस्टा रील अपलोड करवाई है.
I'm so sorry, participants from
time था, कोई नेट नहीं चल रहा था, वीरेंद्र को.
You can go ahead. The participant has been muted.
Yes. The timer has been paused. Oishi, please continue.
Yes. So as I was saying, for Big Bang Theory, it did not prove what happened before it. Yes, it started with the particle. But what was earlier than that?
Big Bang Theory has the proof that it all started with a bang because it
it uses the proof that the universe is expanding at a very fast rate to show that if we rewind the time to a very long time back,
There, even though it is expanding, what was the first reason to start? What was the reason for the start of Big Bang? We don't know what the start of the reason for the Big Bang was. So therefore, even the expansion means nothing.
Tackle.
But still, with Big Bang, there are many science theories that it has given, from starting from the cosmic. If I talk about the cosmic radiation, it stated the fact that
if we consider that the universe is expanding, then if we rewind time, then it all started with when. So
thank you so much, participants from Garden High. The next Garden High International, the next school we have is Garden High School. They were assigned the video made by Sarbotam International School.
Pseudoscience, an assortment of conceptions or techniques inaccurately regarded as being established on the scientific method in regards to the society. Religion, the notion in and worship of superhuman operating power, especially a personal god or gods, that gives the ability to acquire the emotion of faith and belief.
Religion and science both offer explanations for why life and the universe exist. Science relies on testable empirical evidences and observation. Religion lies on the subjective belief in a creator. Both are complex social and cultural endeavors that may vary across cultures and change over time.
Do science and religion coexist? Well, religion involves matter beyond human observation. And because science is all about observation, these two institutions can potentially conflict. Science is tentative and answers questions about how the world works, whereas religion is absolute, non-testable, considers morality, metaphysics, and answers the question about values and why the world works.
Religion is something left over from the infancy of our intelligence. It will fade away as we adopt reason and science as our guidelines. By Bertrand Russell.
Thank you. Can I request participants of Garden High to switch on their videos? I think there are two more, if I'm not wrong. One more. Ayan Ghosh. Yes. Okay. I hope you're ready.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Start the timer.
The main theme of the video was that science and religion cannot coexist, which I think is not totally correct. Yeah, we can never confuse between science and religion, but the main questions provoked by religion, like who is God and what is the master plan?
Religions involve matter beyond human observation, but science is all about observation. Science is tentative and it answers questions about how the world works, based on observations and mathematical calculations.
I know that science gives the observations, but to actually solve a problem, we must know the question. And there have been questions like who is God and what is the future of the universe, which have been actually provoked by religion.
Yes, you're right. But religion has some questions which doesn't have any unique answers. There can be 2 or more answers to a particular question in religion. One can...
Yes, of course, can be 2 or more answers for a particular question in religion. However, we can never forget that attempt solving these questions and giving appropriate answers is what leads us to making new discoveries and understanding new facts about the universe, and that is one of the integral parts of science.
Religion doesn't have any direct impact on human lives. It only preys on the weak minds of human beings. Science helps human beings to grow. It helps in the advancement in the way of living of humans.
Religion.
Thank you so much. That's fine. You can start your statement. It's fine. Thank you so much, Garden High. We'll be moving on to the next school, La Martiniere for girls. They were assigned the video made by Rukmini Billa Modern High School, our sister consort.
Due to the tilt of the Earth, the northeast corner of a structure receives energy. During early morning, only infrared rays from the sun are able to reach the Earth, which are beneficial for the human body.
As per Vastu, a north-facing house is particularly beneficial for people involved in financial services or those running their businesses, as this direction is ruled by Kubera, the god of wealth.
Flow of magnetic field is from north to south, so body in north-south axis will receive magnetic field from the feet, which helps proper blood circulation.
Vastu sleeping directions are tips to sleep in a way so that we receive favorable energies and reject unfavorable ones.
When you're facing the north, the magnetic field of the earth hits your face and charges you up, resulting in sharp memory and increase in grasping power.
It is believed that facing north while studying increases your concentration and does not make you feel tired.
Thank you. Participants from LMG, please switch on your video. Okay. Mrinalika is there. Okay, perfect. LMG, you're ready? 3,
Yes.
2, 1, start the timer.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the house, I will be speaking for the motion. Vastu Shastra is a traditional Indian Hindu system of building which literally translates to science of architecture. In fact, people across the world have now begun understanding the importance of this system in order to...
Members of the House, as far as the rationality of the Vastu Shastra is concerned, Vastu Shastra consultants include quacks, priests, and astrologers. Students may agree that are marketing pseudoscience and superstition in the name of Vastu Shastras. They have little knowledge of Vastu Shastra.
Vastu Shastra can really enhance people's knowledge and interest for spirituality as well. It can help people realize the quest for something deeper within them, life, death, etc. There are three...
Vastu Shastra texts actually teach, and they frame it in a term of religious tradition rather than ground it in any architectural theory therein. Vastu Shastra is stated by some to have roots in pre-1st century CE literature.
It can promote happiness and healthiness of the mind. It can also increase awareness of the mind and make sure that people feel alert throughout the day. Improper implementation of Vastu Shastra in the building.
You suffer from being a matter of interpretation. For example, the mathematical rules and steps for constructing Vedic Yajna square for the sacrificial fire are in the Suba Sutras dated to 4th century BCE. However, these are ritual artifacts and they are not building or temples. Or broader.
There are the three pillars, the one that has to rely on while trying to find out whether their inner self should be. Vastu, by evoking the 5 elements and providing a living space that is clean and clutter-free, can also enhance your mental skills to a large extent.
Objects of the lasting architecture. Vastu Shastra is a pseudoscience, states Narendra Nayak, the head of Federation.
Thank you so much, LMG. That was truly fast and very good. Thank you so much, LMG.
Thank you.
Moving on to Mahadevi Birla World Academy. They were assigned the video made by Army Public School.
We all know the importance of religious places in every religion very well, and its positioning and direction is of paramount importance, specifically in the Hindu religion.
Why should we have temples in northeast direction? According to Vastu, the north direction is dedicated to Kuber, the god of wealth. The northeast direction represents the head of Vastu Purush, commonly known as Ishanya Konya. The northeast is termed as the brain of the house because anything placed in northeast direction starts reflecting its attributes in the brain of the residents.
The scientific reason to support the idea of having temples in the northeast direction is that there is magnetism in this direction of any place, so that the ideals for the soul of gods can remain attracted with the help of magnetism in the temple.
After all the above discussion, it can clearly be observed that our Vastu Shastra is actually based on scientific reasons with some non-scientific explanations.
Thank you. I hope MBUA has switched on their videos. Okay. Amiva, you have given all 5. Okay. Yes, perfect. Amiva, are you ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Timer starts now.
According to Vastu Shastra, the temple should be in the northeast direction because it is considered to be the seat of Lord Kubera and a place from where good energy flows.
Block.
It is also
Vastu Shastra is just a set of lot of common sense rules combined with a lot of religious beliefs. Some of them don't even make sense and some of them make sense, but for specific reasons. And there's no scientific benefit from them.
Vastu Shastra has been conceived as an art and is established further as science and translated astrologically as a system-driven approach for safe living. Vastu, an ancient architectural practice, recommends using particular.
The Vastu Shastra is a system-driven approach towards living life. It promotes superstitions in the name of science. For example, the walls in the living room and children's room should be painted in generic colors. Mirrors should not be placed opposite to the bed. These cannot be explained or justified by science in any way.
It may be considered superstitious, but it does encompass inquisitive science that helps achieving happiness. It is proved helpful and promotes a healthy and happy life by balancing all the elements of the earth.
Vastu Shastra today seems biased towards making profit and propagating ideology instead of solving problems and helping people live better lives. It is considered to be superstitious and pseudoscience.
Tackle.
Vastu Shastra is based on Vastu by Vedic architecture, and it is a place where all directions must and hence become sacred and a powerful area.
Thank you so much, participants from Amiva. That was a good round. We will now be moving on to the host school, Modern High School for Girls. They were assigned the video made by Pathways World School, Aravali.
While a rigid dichotomy in method exists between science and pseudoscience, their histories are often intertwined. In the instance of alchemy and chemistry, a scientific context emerged from a pseudoscientific practice. Chemistry is known to have found its roots in the experimental practices of medieval alchemy. In understanding their emergence as a product of their times, the dichotomy in their nature is characterized as a consequence of history. The initial set of ideas that would later constitute alchemy emerged in Hellenistic Alexandria, Egypt, an epicenter of material arts. The Roman influences in the city led to a natural founding of alchemy's principles on those of the Greek, especially Aristotelian, theory of matter. Alchemy is primarily based on unfalsifiable philosophical conjectures. Chemistry rose from the empirical practices of alchemy, and its ties with alchemy were only severed during the 1700s Enlightenment for chemists to promote themselves through the lens of their times. Technological bounds made during the time also encouraged empirical principles and discarded divinity.
Thank you for the video. MHS, I think all 5 of you will be speaking. Okay, we'll just be spotlighting. Yeah. MHS, I hope you're ready. 3, 2, 1. Timer starts now.
Alchemy is an ancient practice which can be considered as the root of modern day science. When there weren't much scientific explanations present, alchemy played the role.
Though alchemy might have scientific aspects, the core of alchemy is formed via spiritual aspects. It is a blend of spirituality, myths, astrology, and philosophy.
The
blend of spirituality. Tell me you went to the doctor and he didn't say it has harmful side effects. Alchemy is using natural resources, whereas modern day science such as allopathy is using artificial resources, which causes harmful side effects.
That are not true. The drawback of alchemy is that there is no proper scientific practice. Another thing is that alchemy lacks common language for its concept and processes. The ancient traditional alchemy and chemistry were completely separated from each other.
If you look at alchemy as a whole, the main essence to restore faith, which is essential for human life. When we look at alchemy, we are talking about the fact that it's a foundation for all modern chemistry science. And along with that,
although alchemy plays the role of faith, alchemy is based on experimentation and has vague evidence and does not have much basis in science. Whereas chemistry
Alchemy was rooted in a complex spiritual worldview in which everything around us contains a sort of universal spirit, and metals were believed not only to be alive but also to grow inside the earth. When a base of common metal such as lead was found, it was thought to be simply.
Thank you so much, MHS. We'll now be moving on to the next school, Pathways World School. They were assigned the video made by MHS.
There are many ways, or there are certain ways through which you can become less and less available to gravity.
Participants of Pathways, hope your videos are switched on. Now, second participant. Yes. Thank you. I hope two of you are ready.
Yeah.
Your timer starts now.
Other things put aside for now, the very premise of paranormal levitation is deeply rooted in logical fallacy. Consider the fact that the definition of paranormal itself is activity beyond scientific understanding, beyond our current logical framework of the universe.
Paranormal eventually comes down to our inability to explain things through science. For example, we are not able to explain abstract concepts like soul and our subconscious mind through science, and that is where we tend to believe spirituality.
But it is unfalsifiable in nature. After all, how do you either prove or disprove something beyond nature or beyond science? It is entirely antithetical to reasonable logic.
Block.
It is very metaphorical, like shown in the video of a person physically lifting up into the air. It actually is metaphorical for our soul lifting and connecting it more to the soul, so we can.
Yes, but any such phenomena requires proof, and the vast extent of proof or evidence for paranormal activity stems from works of art or ancient works of literature and historical accounts, which in itself does not meet any reasonable standard of proof. And most likely,
according to the ancient history of India, we were aware of the astronomy well before the time of technology and science overpowered us. So evidence can be found through different ways than just research and like lab equipment.
Tackle.
But this can also be explained by confirmation bias and optical illusions. Human brains can be tricked in optical illusions such as mirages or the fata morgana. Humans are subjective creatures and cannot be depended upon to deliver unflawed or unbiased evidence.
Thank you. Participants from Pathways World School will be moving on to the next school, Rukmini Modern High. They were assigned the video made by La Martinia for Girls.
Male mammals have an X and a Y chromosome, while female mammals have two X chromosomes. Sex is determined at the time of fertilization. A chromosome from the sperm cell, either X or Y, fuses with the X chromosome in the X cell. However, one might pray these facts don't change.
This indeed is a pseudoscience. It is the prevalence of the deeply rooted patriarchy in the Indian society that is responsible for the acute desire of a male child stemming from ancient Indian indoctrinated beliefs that is today responsible for female infanticide and widespread gender inequality.
Numerology is a pseudoscientific belief in the divine or mystical relationship between a number and coinciding events. The whole science of gemstones is founded on the hypothesis that humans are the receptor of the vital rays in the form of cosmic radiations of the planet.
This analytically, religion and pseudoscience is constructed as nothing but a belief in the superhuman forces or the external forces in the galaxy. It remains incompatible with science, due to which it can only be dissected and understood as a kind of ethical philosophy.
Thank you so much. I hope the participants from RBMHS are ready. Please switch on your videos. Okay, there is two of you. Advika, your video is on, right? Yes. No, it's not. I hope two of you are ready. 3, 2, 1. The timer starts now.
I'm sorry for the misconvenience. Just a second. Is my video on?
No, it's not. But please start speaking because the timer has started.
All right, all right. Since ages, the science behind the birth of male or female child has been misunderstood, which has resulted in the spread of fake beliefs. Science has experimentally proven that the sex of the child depends upon the chromosomes that he or she inherits from their father.
Vaishnavi, you're muted.
Patriarchy is a social system in which men hold power and predominate in roles of political leadership. Technology makes sex education easy, and there is no doubt the scans are widely misused for sex-selective abortion.
However, we talk about patriarchy, science cannot be defied. Science clearly proves experimentally that chromosomes that are inherited from their father are the reason.
The decrease in female sex ratio and increasing case of female infanticide and feticide, shortage of girls results in forced marriages and trafficking. The decrease in female ratio also led to decrease in the evil norms in the society. Shortage of girls results in forced marriages, trafficking, and bridal marriages.
Well then, the second part of the video talks about stones being formed of minerals found in the Earth's crust. They have a deep impact on their wearers. They emit radiations and positive energies that calm your mind and soothe your soul.
Scientifically, there is no science backing to the power of crystal healing in treating or curing condition. Lack of consistency, superstition, and belief in miracle are a direct outcome of wearing different gemstones or consulting certain godmen or astrologers. This results in believing.
Thank you so much, participants from RBMHS. We'll be moving on to our next school, Sarvotam International School. They were assigned the video made by Garden High School.
Excuse me? Objects in space and space itself increase by the second. So how will astrology, which is based on pretty ancient belief, take into account this ever-changing nature of the universe?
All that we see is an image of the past because of the time light takes to travel astronomical distances. So how can we determine anyone's life events based on past images of heavenly bodies?
धर्म के मामले में सवाल नहीं उठाते, ये विश्वास की बात है.
Astrology, a pseudoscience, mostly accepts facts that go in its favor, whereas astronomy, being science in its truest sense, accepts all kinds of questions and aims to answer them.
Thank you so much, Garden High. So, participants from Sarvotam, I hope your videos are on. Samarth Khurana Nakshita Priya. Akshita Priya, can you hear me? Please switch on your video.
She won't be able to.
There she is. Thank you so much. I hope you're ready. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1. Go.
Many studies have said that astrology isn't scientific or true. Astrology has not been scientifically proven to accurately predict people's personalities or futures beyond a measurement of chance.
Astrology basically gives a direction to one's life and gives a clear path one needs in order to face his life. It has in fact been determined that the Star of Bethlehem was actually an astrological event consisting of many stars.
It makes a person dependent and makes them dependent on the unpredictable future.
Please go on until I say block or tackle. You can't stop speaking suddenly. Akshita, please unmute and go on.
It can make a person less hardworking, and it gives us unless hopes.
Block.
How can
Astrology has no solid evidence for whatever it says. According to astrologers, change in the motion of planets will have a change in your personality. But then there are so many planets other than the known ones that have still not been found by NASA.
As many people still do not understand that astrology in its truest form is actually of the most importance. Astrology is quite simply the study of planets and stars and their influence on our lives.
My only question is, how can a star, which we don't even know exists or not, can predict our future? It is just a superstition that stars can predict our future.
Thank you so much, the participants from Sarvottam International. Next, we will have Sushila Birla girls. They were assigned the video made by Garden High International School.
To have their demons exorcised. And the process itself is quite physically shocking, you know, he really grabs their heads to do his thing.
Y en este caso pueden tener visiones, ver imágenes que no existen, escuchar que se habla a la Virgen o al demonio.
Thank you. Participants of Sushila Birla, do switch on your videos. Before you begin, I would like to repeat. Participants are supposed to refute the essence of the last sentence. Please do keep this in mind while speaking. Okay, I hope you're ready. 3, 2, 1. The timer starts now.
I take the stance that exorcism is a pseudoscience. There isn't enough scientific evidence and credible observations to prove the presence of otherworldly beings on this earth. Spirits, demons, and ghosts are just...
Also, although science may provide many explanations for what people consider possession or exorcism, there isn't really enough concrete evidence against these happenings either. So we cannot really say that we cannot really confidently say that exorcism isn't anything or that possession.
The fact that there isn't any evidence against it does not mean that it's true. As seen in the video, exorcism in a scientific viewpoint can simply be the placebo effect, where one believes that they are cured of a certain ailment after administering a fake drug.
So the thing here is that exorcism as well as placebo effect are all psychological. They all happen in the mind. So there isn't really any proper proof that there isn't any physical proof that anyone can get because it's about the mind. So it's based on what people say. It's based on what people observe. It's based on...
But what is more believable, that you have a mental illness or that there is a ghost or a spirit from another dimension possessing you? A possible explanation for exorcism or possessions can be epilepsy, which causes seizures, makes people hallucinate, vomit, and even utter words that they are not aware.
So yes, there might be many diseases that could explain, there might be many mental illnesses actually that could explain signs that are seen in people considered to be possessed. But then so many diseases share the same symptoms. That does not invalidate any one particular disease.
Okay. Thank you so much, participants from Sushila Birla. We'll now be moving on to the next school, the Cathedral and John Corran School. They were assigned the video made by Don Bosco Park Circus.
Social science data suggests that parental sexual orientation has no relationship to good parenting. Every major child welfare organization and every major psychological professional association support same-sex marriage as a way to improve children's lives.
Guys, misinformation is dangerous. It influences public policy in ways that affect our society. When we ignore these things, it becomes a vicious cycle of the media feeding pseudoscience in our minds, gobbling it up without question. Wouldn't you rather know and try to affect change than accept fallacious information? Let's change the world.
Thank you. Participants from Cathedral, I hope your videos are on. I hope you remember the rules that I've said. Refute last sentence. Hope you're ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
So speaking for this topic for same-sex marriage, I tell you that same-sex marriage enables these people to have better mental health and better psychological health, because when you love someone, they are able to marry that person, opposed to when you don't propagate.
This is a weak stance. It only talks about the psychology of same-sex marriages and does not consider the biological implications. For example, human beings are just one of many species, and homosexual relationships are not often seen in the animal kingdom.
But in fact, biologically, homosexuality isn't specific to humans. For example, over and over again, zoos and aquariums around the world are making headlines for their same-sex penguin couplings. The lives of male and female penguins, and even humans, are not as different from each other as we may accept.
The homosexual relationships can be termed as harmful as they have a higher rate of transmission of AIDS and other sexually terminated diseases that affect their health and can be life-threatening. The stance of this video that is homosexual marriages should be allowed. However, the marriage is a convention which creates inherent gender roles from the same-sex couples.
Okay, now there are several prevention methods that can be used to prevent the spread of STDs and STIs, and furthermore, STDs don't solely belong to the homosexual community. In fact, bans on same-sex marriages can be seen to be tied to a rate of increase in HIV infections. And the point is negated further, as this discussion is not about...
Yeah. So we tell you that same-sex marriage actually historically has a higher transmission rate of sexually transmittable diseases, and because of
that's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, participant from Cathedral. Apologies for the unmuted mic. Moving on to the Doon School. They were assigned the video made by DPS Gurgaon.
Mysteries excite us all, but the Bermuda Triangle has terrified us for decades on end. Is it a gateway to the underworld, or something else entirely different? At 2:10 p.m. December 5, 1945, a routine training flight, 2:30 p.m., Taylor and his pilots flew over hens and chicken shoals and dropped their practice bombs without incident. Suddenly, Taylor became convinced that his Avenger compass was malfunctioning and that his planes had been flying in the wrong direction. "I don't know where we are," one of the pilots said over the radio. "We must got lost up to the last turn." Strange events of December 5, 1945 have since become fodder to all manner of wild theories and speculation.
Thank you so much for the video. I hope the participants of the Doon School are ready and they have switched on their videos. Okay. Hope the two of you are ready. 3, 2, 1. Your time starts now.
There has been a lot of speculation regarding the Bermuda Triangle over the past 100 years. And as we saw in the video, on 1945, there was a plane which was mysteriously sucked into the ocean. Now, the scientific theory behind this is due to the magnetic fluctuations in the Bermuda Triangle.
The key word here used is speculation. These speculations and theories are not backed by any solid and verifiable scientific evidence, and thus this vividly portrays the dichotomy between pseudoscience and science.
Tackle.
Furthermore, as the pseudoscientists have claimed, they explain the disappearances by saying that it's alien activity or even wormholes, or as we saw in the video, quote unquote, hole to the underground.
I would like to reiterate my point that these theories hold no factual evidence whatsoever and have just circulated as rumors meant to arouse a sense of mystery and enigma.
And lastly, I would like to say that the scientific evidence does match our theories as we saw in the video, and radio messages shown that the captains of the planes which have disappeared are saying that there have been magnetic fluctuations which have caused their magnetic compasses to malfunction and therefore lead them into the.
That evidence would be classified as hearsay because we cannot necessarily rely on that as proper scientific evidence. Even if we rely on them as reliable evidence, we need further evidence to support the theories and call them highly scientifically made.
Okay. Thank you so much, participants from the Doon School. We will now have the last school, Vasant Valley School. They were assigned the video made by Mahadevi Birla World Academy. Thank you so much. Participants from Vasant Valley, please switch on your videos. There are 4 of you. Yes. All of you are there. I hope you're ready. Refute your last sentence made by the previous speaker. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Your time starts now.
Okay, so astrology gives people hope for the future. It also provides temporary relief and provides an escape from the situation that we are currently stuck in. For example, studying in the right direction according to the Vastu makes us believe in ourselves and push.
So it's true that astrology may give someone a false sense of hope, but at its core, there are no logical or scientific claims, scientific evidence backing up claims made by astrological scientists. So, for example,
just because you don't understand something or some phenomena behind it doesn't mean you get the right to dismiss them, right? So what astrology actually does, it gives you information about what the planets are doing right now, what they'll do in the future, and how that affects each sign.
The part of astrology which gives you information about what the planets are doing is astronomy. The part where it uses that information to make future prediction is where it goes wrong, and it cannot do that because there is no scientific basis behind those predictions.
Okay, so astrology makes us believe in ourselves and push ourselves to do better. This is because of the positivity that it creates in our mind. This false sense of hope helps us make the task feel more doable and pushes ourselves to the next level.
So a real quick example of how astrology is basically fake. When we talk about an eclipse, astrology says that an eclipse is a sign of bad luck or something bad is about to happen on Earth. But logically, it's no different than any other astronomical event, is it?
But at the same time, it's also telling you about the bad event that's going to happen, right? It cautions you about some future event that's going to happen. So you're more careful in the future and you keep that in mind. So, for example, if that
Data shows that astrological predictions have caused people to lead their lives differently. It has caused them to approach a day differently, which can lead to an adverse impact in their lives. This can also negatively impact lives and not just give them hope.
Okay, so the example of Shani, let's say, it makes us question what we're doing in our everyday lives and basically just gives us a better and a healthier routine.
Thank you so much, the participant from Vasant Valley. We have now come to the end of the block and tackle session. That to keep track of all your arguments and then moderate, and even each argument made by each speaker was absolutely mind-boggling. Thank you so much to all the participants and kudos to everyone for expressing their point of view so eloquently.